everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Explore the Spectrum. I'm your host, Jeanetta, and we are joined with Patty. Patty, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
It's been a good day so far, and it's only going to get better with this conversation. I'm excited for our viewers to be able to learn about what services you offer because I feel like it kind of fills that niche, that little area that sometimes gets overlooked so easily or that we haven't yet given enough resources to. As our kids age, they need their hands held through some of these transition moments. But what I think I've learned from you is that you not only see the need for our kids to have their hands held, but us as parents, we might need a little coaching too. And so tell us a little bit about what got you involved in autism coaching.
Absolutely. So I am a proud autism mom. My son is 15. He is amazing and multi-exceptional, which means that there were a lot of things for us parents to figure out. And through my work with parenting him, homeschooling him, and working with his therapist, I've acquired a lot of skills that I've brought to my coaching practice.
It's funny how the grassroots side of our community is strong. Most of the folks that you see trying to fill those gaps are parents. We've recognized that it's hard to find that resource. And so if that doesn't exist, we'll just create it and make it right. um, Seems to be a commonality, at least, that I've run into. So when you're coaching these kids and these parents, and forgive me because I do tend to call young adults kids as well, what type of services are you guiding them in?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am what's called an Autism Life Coach. And what I do with my clients is help them set goals that will improve their quality of life in some way. So they are always in the driver's seat. They tell me what they're trying to achieve, and then I help them break it down step by step and hold them accountable to doing what they say they want to do in their lives. And then I also unexpectedly got into coaching parents of adults. So that was the big surprise for me is there was huge need out there for parents of adults to understand how to help their young adult children get unstuck and even older adult children get unstuck. So I am working with the adults, and by adults, I mean anywhere from about 17 to 65 is the oldest client I've worked with. And then I'm also working with parents.
That was my next question was what age do you start working with these kids? You know, I know that vocational rehab, at least here in the state of Florida, vocational rehab really starts at age 14, where they're trying to help guide what their strengths are and what some of their skills are. And that's where the conversation begins. So a few years into that is really when you see the most success of being able to help them on the coaching side of it.
Yeah, because we're only meeting 1 hour a week on Zoom, I find under about age 17, it really needs to be a case by case basis. Some kids, I think, at 14, 15, 16 are ready to benefit from coaching, and some are not. But at 17, when they're a high school senior, anticipating graduation and whatever is next, I find that's a really great age to start with coaching.
Okay, so you said something just then that really piques my interest. Now, 17, 18, high school senior, that would be the standard, right? But a lot of our kids don't get to be a high school graduate in some cases until they're 19, 20, 21, or 22. You know, it takes them a little bit longer than they're there. Is there a proficiency or a capability that they need to have in order to benefit from your coaching? If they're lacking some type of skill, would that be a roadblock for being able to work with you, or do you navigate around those?
That's a really interesting question. Um, they have to be able to get on Zoom because most of the coaching that my organization does is remote. I do see some clients in person, but most of it is remote. And I would say they need to be able to show up to appointments on time. So a lot of my clients have parents who are still providing that executive functioning support. And so they are helping them get to the appointment on time. And I have also talked with young adults who don't have that support and they're not able to get to the appointments. And unfortunately, one time I had to explain that it wasn't the right fit. Beyond that, it really depends on the coach, I think. So my organization now has a team of 13 coaches. We're adding 3 more very, very soon. And so we have coaches who specialize in different skills and different abilities. And so we actually can work with a pretty broad range of clients.
That's amazing. All right. So, if I understand this correctly, a lot of it is online. You're able to work with people, not just in your geographic footprint of your backyard, but it sounds like you're able to work with people nationally. So, if someone wants to talk to you further and they want to find out if their kid is a good candidate to be worked with, how would they find you? Or, I guess for themselves as well, how would they find you? Is it a website? Is there social media that they should follow?
Yeah, so my website is the best place to get information. I am on social media, but I will tell you it's not my superpower. My website is full of information and I have a very healthy blog there as well. And the address is just thriveautismcoaching.com.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for sharing some of your passion and some of the gains that you've been able to find with your son and with some of these others with us today. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And to all of our viewers, thank you for joining us as we continue to explore the possibilities.